Hey folks, welcome back to TacoBonsai. I know I'm not doing very good at keeping up on these videos, but I appreciate all of you. I think I'm at my 1 year anniversary on YouTube. I have not gained a follower every day, but I've gained at least a follower for every day in the last year. So thank you to all of you. No particular crazy celebrations. I'm unfortunately uh, busy and strapped for cash to do any kind of giveaways. So I am just going to make a video and thank all of you. It means a lot that you all watch me, including this one, whose head is right where I want it to be, right? And that you're still interested and engaged. Thank you all. You're all amazing. And so many of you, too many to even mention by name, like Tom and Xavier and Gav. And so much has happened in the last year with bonsai, from losing Tony to all the other things. Like it's just been a big year, anyways, for all the fellow content creators. So I appreciate you all sticking in there. And I'm going to continue to make content, even though it's not going to be as consistent as I would like it to be. As things slow down at the farm, I'll be able to do more. But as it is now, I'm still, pedal to the metal, hit the ground running on the farm. So first tree I'm going to work on is this one right here, which is, of course, completely underwhelming. I was going to pull it out of it's a pot inside a pot. But that's not really necessary. This one, it's a Chinese elm. It's a grocery store Chinese elm, and it looks like garbage. And the reason why is because I let it get cold. It is alive. I've got buds all over the place, but these are kind of subtropical trees, I think, or temperate trees. They don't like to be too cold, so rather than let it freeze, I'm going to bring it in and let it wake up. Now I've got buds down here, and I had talked about cutting this down low. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take this off right here. Now, I know there's all kinds of cliches, and I'd love to say it too, but instead I'm just going to let you guys get the best angle here. Flip it the other way, of course, so it heals better. All right, this is it. On to a bigger, better tree. I'm actually really blown away that it didn't fly in the other direction. So I'll have to put some wood glue on here. My goal is not to have like this whole section here, but I don't know which of these are going to take off. I've got green in a couple different places, so I'm going to let this just recover, and then it'll be a repot maybe in the spring, the actual spring. We're still in winter here, whether it be deep winter or not, doesn't matter. And as pretty as this is, the main structure was incredibly flawed. It's easiest to probably see from here. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all come from the same place. There were scars on this side, scars on this side. And although these came out a little bit of curve, then it straightens out again. Same thing with all these. They're all straight branches. This is straight up and down. And that's fine. That's how trees grow. They grow up and down sometimes, but everything else was twisted around a post. You can see in here where there was once a dowel or a post, and same thing down here, a dowel or a post. There's a scar from that. That's what they do, is they wrap them around like that, kind of tie it in. This little elbow here was a nice fat elbow, real issue there. Now what I'm left with still has a little bit of that craziness to it, but is my hope. See, it's just right in here. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if I can turn this any way you can see. But all this in here, all that is kind of a scar from that. So I'd love to be able to take it off on this side of that vertical. Maybe one of these or these. This one's definitely alive, so I wouldn't mind that at all to have it come up. Now we'll do a nice angled cut across the front there, kind of like that, and get this growing as the new leader. We'll see what happens. Again, it was like a discount clearance. It's from Brussels Bonsai. I mean, they make reputable bonsais, and they're good bonsais, but that one just wasn't my taste, and there was too many issues to sort out. As pretty as this might have looked in full leaf, I'd never seen it in full leaf. It was very sad when I got it. Now I have one that I'm actually really excited to work on. Oh, did a little Dave's Bonsai there. This one is my little baby ginseng ficus, another department store thing. I'd picked the front is right there, and I still like that front. This thing has been doing really, really awesome. You can see it's very small leaves. This is a combination of two different foliages. This is after the graft. This is before the graft. So I'm going to repot this today. I don't think it's too, root bound, but I need to make sure I work on these roots. So I'm going to put it into a round pot to make sure I know what's going on. Now, I don't need to worry about the soil. The soil's really good. There's no pests or anything, which has been a huge relief over time. But I will be excited to see what the roots look like after all the work I've done, because this has been, those big bulbous ones where it's like a hand coming down like that, actually just like that, and I cut it up. So this has been a long journey. Let's see what's loose, right? Oh, all right. So that is not upsetting. Drain string still in there. This is one that I think I got. I either got this online or I got it from another plant. But yeah, this is not upsetting. For it to come out in one mass like that after all the work I've done, very, very exciting. I'm going to see if I can't just do one of these. It's probably been a while since I've repotted a regular old bonsai with you guys. This one's not very far in development, but I'm starting to get very, very happy with it. Well, I mean, the top side at least is good. The nice thing about these ficus is they do like to have root work done. They love it. They don't mind at all. They love to grow new roots. And this one needed it. I had a couple aerial roots, but nothing too crazy. Now, many of you may know that this time it is nighttime on the east coast of the States, North America. Despite that, I've got pretty decent light. I have so many grow lights, it's incredible. I'm actually not near any indoor lights that aren't grow lights. They're not that close anyways. They're off to the side here. So that's why I can take some of these plants in, like my Chinese elm and my mulberry, and wake them up a little early. So I'm working behind here, just knocking soil out. It's because I've got so much light on all these grow lights, and it works really nicely that way. Oh, so good. I don't expect there to be a lot of big roots or anything, but it's possible. And that's why I want to make sure I even out. So I'm going to continue to work away at this. A lot of these are new. Well, actually, sorry, all of these are new with the exception of a couple. Like there's this arrow root here, but it doesn't look like it's actually connected to anything. It may not have made it. It may have been rotted out or something. I think you can see what I'm seeing. So far, so good. Not upsetting. For a tree that's been so challenging. I mean, it hasn't been challenging, but these things are not exactly the easiest to work with, because they do like to put out roots in the wrong places and thicken up one root or two roots as opposed to making lots and lots of fine roots. So to see roots like this does not make me upset. Ooh, they look really good. I might be able to upsize the pot. Right now, I'm not seeing anything I really need to cut off. I see a little long, but not a whole lot other than that. To be honest, this thing's kind of nice and compact right now, so I'm not sure I want to mess with them to the point of no return. So I was laughing because I was watching Bearded Bonsai. Check him out. He's awesome. I don't recall where he's from, but I definitely know it's summer for him right now. And he did something where he stops and like gets a cool tool like a chainsaw or something. Like makes it look like he's using it. Like, yep, how to do that for the thumbnail, and I love that. I think that's so much fun, and I might start doing something like that. It's okay with him. I can't recall his his government name or anything, or the name he prefers to be called by, but I saw it like that is so great. I've been trying to get caught back up, but it hasn't been the easiest to catch up on everyone's videos. So it's whatever pops up. Internet's spotty, so by the time anything loads, I've usually lost a connection. So anything that's on my front page of YouTube. I can watch it real quick. So his pop up every once in a while, and I just let him go. All right, I am not upset with this. There's a couple long ones, but that's okay. I can go ahead and just snip off those long ones real quick, just to keep things in shape. Really not upset with this. This is what I'd wanted. I never thought I would get. Now there is some work to be done. I'm really not upset. Ooh. Make sure I don't have any roots just hanging out in here. I am going to reuse this soil, my base layer. It's good soil. There's nothing really bad in it that I don't want to transfer over. So I'm just going to pop this down in here. I am going to use this pot. It's not actually bigger than the other one, but it is, I think, better to have a circular one. This one was trying not to do what it needed to do. All right, I'm just kind of using my fingers and touching and feeling and see what I can do. And I don't want to raise this out of the soil anymore. But I do want to evaluate how everything's kind of coming down. So I'm just touching it where I've got my flat spots, my not flat spots. But this thing is definitely come miles. It's remarkable how nice all these roots actually feel too. They're all pretty even, pretty circular. I will want to work on roots in my kind of, so it's not perfectly circular. The base itself, it's kind of oblong. So I will want to work on roots in there. Even underneath, there's nothing coming underneath. It's just a nice flat. I can flatten that out, and that's nice. So I want to get roots here and here. So I don't have a lot of. Now there's nothing to cut off the bottom here, nothing too thick. But to get those will be tough. The circular pot will help. That's about all I'm going to get as far as forgiveness for this thing. I just need to lump this up with all this good soil. Excuse me. With the change in the seasons comes a lot of different things, and one of those things is allergies. All right. So I will do a little bit of trimming just to adjust the vigor and to make sure there's no bad direction. So that one's kind of going off to the side there, or curling under, I should say. I don't want that. Over here, I'm real happy with these. Some of this is old bark that can just be kind of peeled off. It's not really attached to anything. It's just still on its way out. You can see, looks like a kind of plate here. And below that is where all the roots are coming out. So get some more of this off. Maybe not. Try to, not to expose the roots per se, but to get a little bit of the organic matter out. Side's okay. Yeah, they're all looking pretty good. Now, I do have this one here, kind of crossed over and coming down. I think I need to take that off. I'm not really worried about rules with this tree, but I actually just don't like this one. So that's going to come off. And it's okay. There's hardly any roots on it. A little bit, not much. And that will give us one less place for rot. Let's see if I can just brush out anything that was in there. I've got a strong top side on this right now, so if there's anything I was going to do, now's probably the time to do it. One of the things I consider is actually cutting this down some more, which I might do. As nice as all these roots are, no, you know what? I'm going to leave it because that would be probably the end of this tree if I try to do that. All right. I'm going to scooch on in, get this nice and mounded up. My other bonsai so right next to me. Now there are some roots that the tips are kind of not doing what I want them to do. Let me go through and just do a real quick adjust on those. Once they're just changing direction, things like that. I'll end up doing a little comb out on this, so it'll be fine. Here, where's that coming from? Right there. There we go. The rest of these are nice little, beetroots. Roots. All right. I'll do a little bit of trim around the edge here just to get into this pot. Both sides just to be proper. So I really want to grow roots out the other side. All right. I need more soil in here. I don't think that's quite enough. I'm going to do some regular soil. So just for a comparison, because it's not a bigger pot, but I'd like to do a rounder pot to get the roots more balanced. I think at this point, that one was in that pot just to fit it with the smallest amount, and I don't need that anymore. All right, and this way I can just turn it whichever way I want. So I've got on here, I'm gonna do a real quick just sort out, make sure all these roots are all pointed out right direction. I don't want to have roots going every which way. I want them going every one way. Let's try to stick up here, and I'm just going to take it off because with how many roots there are, I don't think it's worth worrying about the one. All right, a little filling around the sides. So this pot will definitely have a larger capacity, which is good. Ooh. All right, I've got my soil in, and it's time to fire it in. Not a whole lot of funkiness to this, but let's lift a little bit and fire it in. And get all these roots pointed down a little bit better. And I think just repining it like this has given me a little bit of a new lease on life. I can turn it different ways and get more views of the trunk that I think are better than taking off that one. It was kind of like an aerial root that had infused. That one didn't need to be there. So I'm glad that one's gone too. Oh, here's my shelf there. One aerial root on the side here is not made, but that's okay. I don't need aerial roots per se. All right. See where we're at. Let's see. This is just one big cavity. It's tough to fill under trees like this because they are so much like a shelf. Excuse me. It's allergies. I promise everybody, it's just allergies. I am okay. Ooh, almost done, I hope, because I feel like this part has been just going on too long. All right, I think we're almost there. I do need to put some more soil on here, but I don't have to worry about this thing falling over or anything because it's in a really strong position. Need to fill in more. I'm not trying to plant this high, so. Ooh. Right. Of course, I don't want to do that. Sorry, I'm going to use the side of this. My center is unsupported, or I can just do this. go. A nice pat down. Ooh. I like to leave my soil a little bit below the lip. I've got a little mounted up here, but I would say that that's not a bad looking repot. Now, if you're looking at the front right there, it looks okay. And I've got a small opportunity to just look at some of these leaves and see where there's extra stuff. So like I've got a big leaf here. That off, it's an old leaf. Old leaf under here. Ooh. I'm not trying to take off all the leaves, of course, just some of the ones that are kind of extra and clogging it up. Here's an old leaf here. And under here, no, I'll leave that one. This is an old leaf, but I'm waiting for it to bud out better. Over here, that's an old leaf, but it hasn't really budded out. Then I've got 3 coming from here. It's a tougher one. This little leaf here, it's an old one. Here's an old one. Ooh. This is very congested in here, but it's where I want growth. It's part of the top of that tree. Let's see where else I got some old leaves. I kind of want to take this off. I don't want to lose that lower branch there. There's 3 coming from the same place here, so ooh. That off. It's kind of just dead up there. Ooh, looks like I've got a little bit of scale. I'll address that as well. Let's see, you guys can see now this is coming kind of straight up. I do not want that, so I am going to take it off down here. As much as those are beautiful indoor leaves, now this one's not coming so straight up. I'm not sure if you can even see it. It's right here. Yeah, it's tough to see. All right, ooh, speaking of which, the one right above that, there's an old leaf right here. And most of my branches look really good over here. I'm not sure I want that one. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. Those are old leaves, but hasn't started back bud. Ooh. Old leaf here. Don't need that. Giving me trouble coming off. All right, old leaf in here, which is just too interior to the plant. Same with this one here, too interior. Yeah, as much as I'm all for making this an incredibly compact and resilient tree, I still need to make sure I keep my crotches clean and airy. Yeah, keep your crotch clean and airy, everybody. Very important words to live by. All right. Now I've got 2 branches over here. They're sort of interfering with each other. And I love this one. It's coming off over here. Oh, can't see there. I love this one. But that right there at the end, this, coming off and it's coming towards this one. This is a really straight branch under here. I don't want to lose it. Only problem is it's going to get shaded out. And this one may not make it. It doesn't look like it's doing anything really crazy. So imagine this one died off. Well, you can't see it that well. This one was to die off. Would I lose anything really? I don't know. It's a tough one. That's a tough one. All right, let's see here. There's this leaf here. It's just kind of in the way. Tiny leaf. Take that out. It's okay there. All right. This is a way better branch for sure. I think what I'm going to do is I will take off down low on this one and hope that it, so here, I'll hold it up for you all to see. Pretty little branch, did okay, nice bifurcation, but it's very straight. So if I can't get something to come off a different side here, hopefully coming off that way from here over, that branch just may have to go. Same with this one here. It's not bad, but it's not really doing anything good. So now, if I turn it back to the front, ooh, there we go. right about there. Leader is real easy to see. You can follow the trunk line all the way up to that leader, which is nice. Brushing off here. Those are kind of too far up. All right, yeah. You can follow it all the way up the trunk, all the way up to here. Real nice. Got the branches coming off this way. It's really two branches from the same spot, but again, I'm not concerned about that. Got some scars up here. They'll heal okay. This one's working on healing too, which is kind of nice. Got a little like secondary leader over here to the side. Very dense with foliage, but I don't want to mess with that because it is a different type of foliage, and sometimes things above the graft die off. I like the form it's got right now, so I don't want that to happen. Got my branch coming off like this. It'll need some pruning in the future, but right now it's just too fresh. I've got one that's coming up and kind of coming to the back in a really cool way. I like the way that one's shaped. One below it, same sort of thing. And again, these are all coming from the same spot over here. And there's two back branches, one of which I just trimmed and one of which just isn't taking off well. So once I get this thing watered through, this will go back on the shelf and it'll be ready to go. This one, of course, ooh, too far up. This one, the Chinese elm. Here, I'll pop this back up so you guys can see me when I talk. All right, so the Chinese elm is definitely going to be, well, we'll seal it up and we'll see what happens. It'll be repotted as soon as I feel it's safe. But I would definitely say that now is not the right time to repot it. In the meantime, I got a new, not new, but a, another pot I can use for a tree. And I might even try to tuck this into some water. I'm told that Chinese elms will even back by the water and see what happens. It's not an amazing cutting. It could certainly be worse. I'll just take off these low branches. Yeah, this is an experiment to see if it'll, do something in water. But for that, I will take off some of the extra stuff that doesn't need to be here. So I leave all this on. I won't want this anyways. So I'm gonna take off all that. Let's see. I think I'm gonna take the very top off this as well. I don't see a reason to have all of it this way. Let's see if I can do this. All right. How's that looking? Still kind of looks like garbage. Huh. Well, we'll see what happens. Soften a nice round sort of canopy. I don't know, not my taste, but oh no, that's straight up. But then again, now that I've got it this way, if I plant it real deep and it puts roots up top, I can do it a different way. I don't know. We'll see. It may not even root. We'll have to see. It's certainly alive, so that's good. But yeah, I'm just gonna dunk that and see what happens. I don't know any trees that look like this in the real world, but who knows? I'm almost tempted to cut it farther up if I'm going to plant this. Or should I try to plant a weird bridge? That might be cool. Plant it like that. Honestly, this pot, but of course, you guys are along for the ride at this point. But plant it like that. That'd be kind of cool. All right, well, I won't bore you guys with any more of me fiddling around with stuff. I'm going to put some glue on this, get this watered up, and I'll see you folks next time. Appreciate you tuning in. Everyone take care of yourselves. Cheers.